The shadow of Japan's most infamous religious cult, Aum Shinrikyo, has once again returned to public attention. The second son of former AUM leader and executed death row inmate Shoko Asahara, real name, Chizuo Matsumoto, has been officially identified by Japan's Public Security Intelligence Agency (PSIA) as being involved in criminal activities under the successor group Alep's leadership. In response, authorities have designated his residence as a facility associated with Aleph and are implementing strict monitoring and preventive measures. The revelation has reignited national concerns over the lingering influence of the Doomsday Cult, which was responsible for the deadly 1995 Tokyo subway sarin gas attack and numerous other crimes during the 1990s. Despite the passage of 3 decades, the cult's ideological residue appears far from extinguished. New designation sparks nationwide alarm. On Monday, PSIA officials held a press conference confirming that the home of Matsumoto's second son, whose name is withheld under Japanese privacy laws, has been officially designated under the Subversive Activities Prevention Act as a newly recognized Aleph-linked facility. The agency cited substantial evidence that criminal and ideological activities connected to Aleph have taken place at the location, located in the Greater Kanto region. Despite attempts to portray themselves as reformed, individuals tied to Aleph continue to engage in behavior that poses a direct threat to public safety, stated Chief Director Mikihiko Otomo of the PSIA. We have confirmed ideological indoctrination, suspicious financial flows, and efforts to recruit vulnerable young people. This marks the first time that a relative of Asahara has been formally linked to organized activities of Aleph, intensifying concerns about the potential for a dynastic revival of the cult's extremist ideology. The legacy of AUM and the rise of Aleph. Founded in the 1980s by Shoko Asahara, Aum Shinrikyo attracted thousands of followers with a mixture of Buddhist, Hindu, and apocalyptic beliefs, eventually morphing into a deadly terrorist cult. In 1995, the group carried out a sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway system that killed 13 people and injured over 6,000. Asahara and several top members were sentenced to death, with executions carried out in 2018. Following the government's crackdown, AUM rebranded itself as Aleph, attempting to distance itself from its criminal past while still preserving Asahara's teachings. Despite efforts to dissolve the group entirely, Aleph has remained active under close surveillance. The emergence of Asahara's own son in a leading role within this dangerous network is seen by experts as an alarming turn. Surveillance and security measures expand. The new designation allows Japanese authorities to implement enhanced security and surveillance at the facility. Measures include 24/7 monitoring, limitations on gatherings, financial audits, and physical searches. Neighbors and local authorities have also been briefed to ensure community vigilance. According to intelligence reports, the second son had been operating a discreet, study group, under the guise of meditation and spiritual guidance. In reality, the sessions allegedly involved indoctrination sessions aligned with Asahara's apocalyptic doctrines, and efforts to revive key aspects of the original cult's operational structure. While the PSIA has not reported any immediate plans of violent activity, the agency emphasized that the ideological drive toward martyrdom and anti-state sentiment remains intact within the network. The psychological burden of legacy. Born during the peak of Aum Shinrikyo's notoriety, Matsumoto's second son has largely lived in the shadows of his father's crimes. Though several of Asahara's children have publicly denounced the cult's actions, the second son has maintained silence for years. His re-emergence, and now confirmed affiliation with Aleph, is seen as a tragic confirmation of concerns long held by security officials. Yoshiko Sakai, a former AUM survivor and current victim advocate, expressed deep concern over the development. To see the next generation not breaking away from the ideology is heartbreaking, Sakai said. It shows that the scars of that era have not fully healed, and the danger remains real. Public backlash and national dialogue rekindled. News of the designation has triggered public outrage and renewed discussions around cult rehabilitation, freedom of belief, and national security. Social media platforms were flooded with comments, many expressing disbelief that the offspring of a terrorist leader could be operating under the radar for so long. Some users criticized the government for not taking stronger preventive actions earlier. Others sympathized with the complex position of the Matsumoto children, who have grown up burdened by their father's legacy. Japan must find a way to prevent recurrence without punishing people for their family name, wrote one commenter on X, formerly Twitter. But active participation in a dangerous group should never be tolerated. calls for legislative reform. In response to the incident, several lawmakers have called for updated legislation to better monitor cult successor groups and potential ideological revivalists. Takeshi Endo, a member of the House of Councilors, urged immediate bipartisan action. We must recognize that religious extremism, even if dormant for years, can reawaken. The tools of law enforcement must evolve to meet the modern reality. Japan's current laws make it difficult to ban religious organizations outright, even if their past includes criminal activity. Critics argue that the government must strike a delicate balance between constitutional protections and national safety. International eyes watching. Japan's renewed struggle with cult revival is attracting global attention. Security analysts around the world are watching to see how the country addresses the complex blend of ideology, family legacy, and public security. Aleph has been designated a terrorist organization in several countries, and international cooperation has occasionally helped Japanese authorities trace overseas funding sources and digital communication channels. Conclusion. A battle between memory and ideology. This case serves as a grim reminder that the ideological seeds planted decades ago continue to bear dangerous fruit. The reappearance of the cult's second generation not only underscores the resilience of extremist ideologies but also raises haunting questions about rehabilitation, inheritance, and justice. As the government reinforces its stance, the Japanese public once again finds itself grappling with a painful past. The hope remains that with transparency, vigilance, and a deeper understanding of psychological indoctrination, the cycle can finally be broken. But for now, the specter of Aum Shinrikyo, reborn in a new generation, remains an uncomfortable and persistent reality.